Cancer, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for February 29th through March 6th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to click the link for more information because the signs are different. All right, Cancer, so this week we've got a very important transit involving the South Node conjoining up to Chiron. So this is all about healing old energies, healing the over-under extremes of our perspectives of life, which then allows us to have that more healthier perspective on these new life path beginnings. Because the North Node has been shifting into Leo this early part of the year, which for you is about establishing this new sense of value in your life. This is more than likely on the material level, which is what the second house is. So being grateful for what you have, establishing your material security, enjoying the simple pleasures of life, etc. But on a really deep level, asking yourself, what is it that you truly value? And that's the new shift. And it's been, very expansive because Jupiter's close by. So a lot of that's still internalized. There's a lot of things being learned about this right now at the moment. But to do this and to move into this in this healthy sense, we always have to allow the unhealthy elements of the South Node, because the South Node is essentially showing us where we might have over or under extremes. And so for you, this has been in regards to your ninth house, which might be about philosophy, might be about adventure. Again, we're talking about the over or under extremes here. So bringing balance to the adventurous and expansive views of life is what this is all about. And I think it's not so conscious because it's the South Node, but I think just feeling it and being aware of it can really go a long ways. And just being open to healing too. Any old wounds, any old things that might be associated with that outlook. And that's what the ninth house is that life view. What's possible, what is life about, who are we, what's our life purpose. And this is a healthy area to balance. But again, it's suggesting that you might be finishing up with some over-under extremes with this. And that's what I mean by finishing up, is that the South Node's been in here for about the past couple years. And that's also shifting. South Node's going to be slowly going into your 8th house, which will be releasing the old energies relating to transformation, which we'll talk about as that shifts. But with this in particular, I think just being open to healing, being open to seeing where there might be over-under extremes with that life view. So that's going to be over the weekend. And then as we approach this, we do have Venus forming a couple aspects during the work week. She's going to be sextiling up to Saturn Monday and Tuesday. And this is a Venus that's been in your 7th house of relationships. So lately, you guys probably have been enjoying maybe the more surface level or easygoing sort of one-to-one connections, although you have been focused on the deeper aspects of life with the sun in the 8th. The more surface level stuff I think has been enjoyable. Maybe the relationships, new and existing ones, what have you. So that's actually quite good. This early part of the week could be quite grounding with Saturn and maybe even quite exciting with Uranus. Now, Venus does also rule your 4th house of home, family, and health, so grounding and maybe exciting with that, and also the groups and friends or anything on that collective level. Now, one thing I want to say too is, Saturn's in your 5th house, which has been really helping you structure your self-expression and the things you enjoy in life so that they're real and long-lasting. So that's a good week for those things. And Uranus in that 9th is that it has been great for you to listen to that intuition that's helping you mix up and change up the your view of life, right? And that adventurous spirit, really tapping into that true self of yours. So that's also quite good with this also. Now, as we go into the weekend, Mercury is going to start to shift into Aquarius, which is that 8th house. So I think naturally you'll start to think more about the deeper aspects of life, which have been a focus, but here you can understand them a little bit more, maybe about the truths, the hidden things, uncovering information, uncovering the truths of yourself, the external environments, different areas of life, what have you. Now, on the weekend, we do have some important aspects. As you can see here in the transit graph, we've got Mercury squaring up to Mars. So with this shift, it's into the deeper understanding of things. It's about taking it nice and slow and grounded. Mars, I think, has been helping you tap into a much more assertive nature when it comes to your home, your family, or your health. And your energy levels are a bit receded at the moment with Mars at the bottom of your chart, although have been improving. And this week, as we approach next week, you'll probably notice that bit of lowering of energies anyways. And so the weekend will probably be in that lower, more receptive state. So being open to any type of self-interest, motivations, and drives that you might have in regards to the things that are meaningful to you, I think require that extra attention and then integrating it and grounding it can be excellent. In fact, really implementing the emotional body in a constructive way into that deeper area of your life, that deeper self, I think is great with this. Now the sun is going to be squaring up to Saturn, so with this one there's this sort of sometimes restricting feeling on our self-expression. For you, maybe in regards to these values and these new things that are shaping up for your life path, in that sense. But all it is that Saturn, like the stern parent sort of analogy, is helping you just ground it and making it structured. So taking that grounded and mature approach to the self-expression, and then also the values in your life, I think is great. Then as we go into Monday, the sun does sextile up to Pluto. So I think it's great to be open to change, because there could be something new shaping up going into next week, involving again what's really deep and meaningful, and maybe even to the daily sphere of things, which is Pluto in the 6th house. So that's the week in a nutshell. The emphasis over the weekend, though, is definitely going to be the South Node conjoining up to Chiron. So being open to healing any wounds that might come up around the past, or just things need to be released, and just kind of doing that work. But again, it's more spiritual in nature. I think a lot of it has to do with your life path, your life purpose, your spiritual outlook, your philosophical outlook, and just overall your worldview. All right, Cancer, so have a great week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all next week.